Okay, this video is for using the distributive property to find the greatest common factor of two numbers. Now we've done the distributive property before, so I'll do a quick reminder of what the distributive property is. Remember, with the distributive property, that's just saying if I have two numbers, I can pull out a factor, and whatever is inside the parentheses can be multiplied by that outside factor. So I can do a times b, and then I can add it to the outside factor times the other number. So a times b plus a times c. That outside factor can be distributed to each of the numbers inside the parentheses. So that's the distributive property. These two equations are equivalent. So review that, and now we're going to use that same property to pull out the greatest common factor. So we're just going to want to make sure that the factor that we pull out of two numbers is the greatest one. So we want to make sure a is the greatest common factor of the two numbers. So let's look at number 1, 12 and 18. Well, you can use the cake method to figure out what the greatest common factor is, and when you do, you'll see that it's 6. So I'm going to pull out 6. Actually, I'm going to show you how to do all of that, and you'll see. It's really cool. This is why I like the cake method. So let's do it. 12 and 18. Let's pull out the greatest common factor. Let's say it's 6. Here's 6. 6 times what equals 12? Well, 6 times 2. 6 times what equals 18? 6 times 3. So I can translate this to my distributive property up here. This is my GCF. That's what goes outside. So my 6 will go outside my parentheses, and then my parentheses will be around these two numbers. And these are the numbers I add together. So then I'm going to have 2 plus 3 inside my parentheses. Now let's just double check. Remember, in the distributive property, I'm going to take 6 and multiply it by 2. I should get 12. I do. Then I can take 6 and multiply it by 3. I should get 18, which I do. So I know that this is correct. Okay. Now I can add whatever is inside the parentheses. So this is the same as 6 times, well, 2 plus 3 is 5. And I can do that math. 6 times 5 is 30. So we found the GCF, or the greatest common factor, of these two numbers. We found it to be 6, and then we rewrote the sum using the distributive property. Okay, so if I do my math, I know that 12 plus 18 equals 30, but I could also rewrite it like this using the distributive property. 6 times 2 plus 3 equals 30. Okay, so let's take a look at one more using the distributive property to find the greatest common factor. So let's take a look at number 5. Okay, if I use my cake method, 44 and 33, I'm going to pull out the greatest common factor if I can the first time. Well, let's just say, if I know that they're repeat numbers, I'm going to probably guess I'm going to be dealing with factors or multiples of 11. So 11 times 4 equals 44. 11 times 3 equals 33. So here's what I pull out. Here's my factor that goes outside of my parentheses. That's my greatest common factor. Then inside the parentheses are the numbers on the bottom. 4 plus 3. Now let's double check. 11 times 4, does that equal 44? Yep, that's my first number. 11 times 3 should equal 33, my second number. That is correct. So I know that these two equations are equivalent. And I can write the sum this way. 11 times 4 plus 3 is 7, and that equals 77. All right, so that's how you use a distributive property with greatest common factors.